Hello everybody, Chaz here. Today I'll be reviewing the iPhone 4 in 2021, but this isn't an ordinary iPhone 4 review, as I'll be reviewing the iPhone 4 running iOS 6.1.3 in 2021. As you may know, iOS 6 was the last retro version of iOS. For the last classic versions, Apple changed a lot of stuff on iOS 7, including the icons, the app themes, and multitasking. While this was good for some newer devices like the iPhone 5, it really took a toll on performance for the iPhone 4, and iOS 7 was the last major OS upgrade the iPhone 4 got. And from its performance on iOS 7, you can kind of tell why. But I have an iPhone 4 downgraded here to iOS 6.1.3, and I'm going to be reviewing both the phone and the operating system in this video. So let's get started. Here we are at the iOS 6 home screen. I do have some apps downloaded on this iPhone, mostly old versions of course, since the latest versions of the apps are incompatible with iOS 6, but these icons are very different to what we have today. So let me just get my iPhone 6S. As we can see, there is a very big difference with what the icons look like. Of course, this 6S is on iOS 14, but even on iOS 7, it does look massively different to iOS 6. It was a major upgrade, which while of course I said this was beneficial to some iOS devices, such as the iPhone 5S and the iPad 4, it did badly hurt some older iOS devices, particularly the iPhone 4, which really struck in terms of performance. We've also got the old multitasking if I double press the home button, and we have a few apps open already, and multitasking honestly isn't that bad on the iPhone 4 on iOS 6, and those who have had an iPhone on iOS 6 will instantly recognise the satisfying swipe to unlock noise. Let's just try that again. Yeah, that's definitely very satisfying noise to hear, and also when you turn off the screen, it also gives quite a nice noise. Yeah, those noises were gone on iOS 7. That's honestly one of my favourite things on iOS 6. The old noises, actually, it's very satisfying to hear. In terms of performance, the phone still does very well on iOS 6, and older games still work and are very fast, although the latest versions usually do not run. The older versions still have most features and still provide a good performance, which is not surprising as many people still use the iPhone 4 as their daily driver phone while iOS 6 was the latest iOS version, so developers at that time would want their games to still run smoothly on the iPhone 4, and they were certainly very successful at making this experience, and the game experience is still pretty good on the iPhone 4 and iOS 6. However, one thing iOS 6.1.3 lacks in general is decent browser support. The Safari version on this phone is very old, so it won't be a very good browser experience. Has not been updated to be compatible with most websites, and some websites do not even work on this iPhone or are really slow. For example, Wikipedia actually doesn't work because the certificates on this phone are outdated, so many websites that use newer certificates will not work. So that is one major downside to iOS 6, and third-party browsers like Chrome also have to use the Safari engine, so you won't be able to get good website support on this phone even if you use another browser. As a phone for calls and texts, this iPhone 4 will actually still do you fine, and it's always handy to have a backup phone in case something happens with your main phone. For example, if it gets stolen or broken and you need a phone to do you over while you look for your main phone or get it repaired. Although other than this, there isn't really all that much you can do with the iPhone 4. If you need to browse the web, then this phone will not do a very good job with the old Safari, and it doesn't work on FaceTime on iOS 6 due to a server-side issue that was fixed in iOS 7. As for the design, this iPhone is certainly very small. It has a small 3.5-inch screen, a removable back, and a classical home button with the square in the middle. It does have a headphone jack and has an older 30-pin charging port, similar to the ones on older iPods. Here's the SIM card tray. although you will need an adapter if you're going to be putting a nano SIM card in it, which most modern SIM cards are nano SIM cards, so you probably will need an adapter if you want to put a nano SIM card into your iPhone. In terms of camera, this phone still does work alright, although it certainly is much worse quality than newer phones. It does still work. I have an old Android phone running Android Eclair that takes much worse photos than this iPhone, although I can't currently show you because it's out of battery life. But if you want to use this iPhone as a professional camera, then just don't. It won't take very good quality photos compared to professional cameras or newer smartphones. So, should you get the iPhone 4 running iOS 6 in 2021? For a main phone, probably not. It's several iOS versions behind, many apps don't work, web browsing sucks, and the camera isn't that great either. For not much more, if you're on a budget, you could get the iPhone 5 or 5S instead, which is still quite recent in iOS and works much better as a main phone. For a backup phone or even a phone to collect, though this can definitely be a good phone, and having it on iOS 6 is even better, as it still has classic icons and themes. You could also repurpose it, for example. You could turn it into a music player or an alarm clock. The possibilities are endless, but in 2021 I just wouldn't recommend it as a main phone, even if it is retro and the old theme is actually quite nice. It just doesn't hold up in 2021 as a main daily driver. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you want to see more content like this. I'll definitely be doing more videos on iOS 6, as it is a good OS. Even if it isn't good as a daily driver, it is still good in terms of theme and looks. Anyways, have a good day. See you next time, and goodbye.